I awoke early to the morning light and the cheerful songs of mountain bluebirds. Around the campsite, chipmunks scampered, likely in search of leftover crumbs from last night's freeze-dried meal. The peace and joy of being back in the wilderness after many years faded quickly as the reality of the day ahead settled in. The air was crisp at 6,000 feet as I emerged from my tent, captivated by the alpine lake surrounded by snow-capped peaks. I longed to linger, to cast a fishing line into the clear waters, but today was the day I had dreaded for weeks, a confrontation that needed resolution so I could move forward. I rustled up a simple breakfast of eggs and sausage on the propane stove, accompanied by strong black coffee. As I sat, preparing mentally for the 6-mile hike back, I marveled at the serene beauty of this moment. I reminded myself that there was beauty and joy to be found beyond this difficult day, as long as I kept moving forward with the right mindset. I planned to reclaim the hobbies I had set aside during my 23-year marriage: camping, hiking, fishing, sailing, and perhaps discover new passions. The descent was peaceful, encountering no one on the trail or at the trailhead as I packed up and headed for the main highway. Reconnecting my phone after 3 off-grid days, I anticipated the flood of texts, voicemails, and emails as I reached the cell signal. Pulling onto the county road, the first text came from my 21-year-old son, Ryan. His message was brief yet supportive. "Dad, I love you and believe in you. Stay positive today. There's a light at the end of this tunnel." His words brought tears to my eyes and strengthened my resolve for what lay ahead. Next, I read a text from my daughter, Krista, echoing love and encouragement. "Dad, I wish I could be there to hug you and assure you everything will be okay. You've been an incredible father, always putting us first. Now it's time to focus on yourself. Ryan and I love you and will always be here for you." These messages buoyed my spirits as I navigated towards the challenges ahead, grateful for the unwavering support of my children during this pivotal moment in my life. Krista had always been Daddy's girl. Despite her striking resemblance to my beautiful wife Linda in her younger years, Krista inherited my adventurous spirit, love for the outdoors, and quirky sense of humor, traits Linda never possessed. In my 23 years of marriage, I found solace in raising children whom I deeply loved and respected. They would undoubtedly be the greatest legacy I could leave behind, especially as I hope to rebuild a happy and fulfilling life. Stopping at a rest stop, I sifted through my notifications, texts, emails, voicemails, and missed calls. Among them were 10 missed calls from Linda over the past 3 days, likely during her supposed business trip to Vegas for a banking seminar. Her frustration was evident in the last 3 calls made upon her return yesterday and this morning, exacerbated by my absence at the airport and my silence in response to her attempts to reach me. I skipped the voicemails entirely, choosing to delete them and focus on the rest of my messages. As expected, Linda had bombarded me with about 20 texts over the 3 days. The initial ones professed eternal love, which I cynically dismissed as guilt-induced, while the later ones dripped with anger and hurt over my lack of communication and my failure to meet her at the airport. Her final text simply read, "WTF Jack," in all caps. Our relationship had dramatically shifted in the past month. From my perspective, Linda seemed oblivious to the dwindling love and connection I once felt so deeply for her. I struggled to comprehend how she had grown so distant over the last challenging 4 months. Had she truly forgotten about me, my feelings, and the pain I carried? Even more disheartening was the apparent neglect of our children, our family, and the affectionate life we had cultivated together. This emotional distance was perhaps even more painful than her affair. At 44, Linda remained stunningly beautiful, with curves, legs, and a figure that turned heads effortlessly. She knew how to command attention, whether through social charm or her professional role at U.S. Commerce Bank's Trust Department, where she was recognized as a rising star. I had always taken pride in being seen with Linda, enjoying the way men would stare at her with longing as we walked past. The attention she garnered boosted my self-esteem and ego, knowing she was mine forever. Despite my constant affirmations of her beauty and desirability, she often dismissed them, feeling insecure about aging. Her belief that she was losing her youthful vibrancy bothered her deeply, and my reassurances fell short as she attributed them to my role as her husband. Perhaps her affair stemmed from these insecurities about fleeting youth, though I doubted I would ever understand the full extent of her actions, and perhaps neither would she. Her attention had shifted to John Monroe, her younger, wealthy boss at the bank. He embodied confidence and success, qualities Linda admired and found attractive, especially as our own relationship seemed to fade into a mundane friendship. Linda failed to notice the emotional distance that had grown between us, even as it became painfully obvious to me. John Monroe's sudden prominence in her life coincided with the abrupt end to our discussions about work in him 4 months ago, a period that marked the beginning of the end for our 23-year marriage. Pushing away these melancholic thoughts, I refocused on my phone. With a bitter sigh, I deleted all of Linda's texts and moved on to my emails. My lawyer confirmed everything was prepared per our discussions. I also received a cryptic Snapchat message about someone I had shown interest in having a severe accident, quickly followed by its automatic deletion. Another email notified me that my resignation was accepted and my financial assets had been transferred, leaving me financially secure for the foreseeable future despite the looming tax implications. None of it mattered much. What I needed now was to move forward. As I prepared to merge into traffic, Linda's call interrupted my thoughts. Seeing her name on the screen, I decided it was time to confront the situation head-on, like ripping off a bandage. Pulling over at a rest stop, I turned off the car and answered her call, attempting to keep my emotions in check. "Hey Linda, what's up?" "What's up? What the fuck do you mean, what's up? First of all, where are you? You weren't at the airport to pick me up, you weren't home all night, didn't leave a note, and haven't answered any of my calls or texts since last week. What the hell, Jack? You tell me what's up." "Gee, Linda, I honestly didn't think it would matter to you whether I answered or not, or if you even saw me at all. I assumed you'd be relieved I wasn't home, giving you time to clean up and put on your facade before facing me, the kids, our friends, or your parents. Isn't that how your double life works?" "What? Why would you say something like that, Jack? I don't understand. What double life? You know I travel for work. And why aren't the kids responding to my calls or texts? And where's our king mattress from the master bedroom? I had to sleep in the guest room last night. Jack, what's going on? Why did you leave me stranded at the airport? This feels surreal." "Linda, you've created this surreal situation for yourself and our entire family." Linda's anger and accusations began to wane, replaced by confusion and apprehension. "What? What does that mean, Jack? Where are you? What's happening?" "Where I am doesn't matter, Linda. I've been out of town and busy, too busy to respond to your messages. I've been trying to come to terms with a significant betrayal and chart a new path forward." Linda hesitated, her voice faltering at the mention of betrayal, but she persisted in feigning ignorance. "Jack, are you drunk? What are you talking about? Let me ask you, Linda. How was your 3-day banking conference? Did that guy John get to spend every night and morning with you, or just the 3 nights?" There was a sharp intake of breath from Linda, and a pause before she responded. "What are you talking about? Who is John, and why would you say that? I'm married to you." "Yes, Linda, you're married to me. But I find it hard to believe you still consider this a marriage. So, after 23 years, are you going to give me the courtesy of telling the truth? You've shown no respect or concern for me or our family lately. Now that the lies and deceit are out, can we finally be honest?" Linda's voice trembled as she replied, "Jack, I don't know what you think, but you're wrong. I love only you. There's nothing going on with John Monroe or anyone else." "Oh, so you do know which John I'm talking about." For a moment, I wondered if there were more Johns involved. "Linda, be honest with me. Did you think you'd never get caught, or did you simply not care? Were you working up to asking for a divorce and loving someone else? It would have been easier for everyone if you'd had the courage to tell us instead of lying and cheating behind our backs." "Jack," Linda shouted, her voice catching as tears began to flow, "please don't mention divorce. Please believe me, I love only you. Come home so we can talk. There's nothing going on. How could you think otherwise?" It seemed Linda was convinced I had no evidence and was bluffing, determined to maintain her charade. So, I suppose that means you didn't sleep with Monroe in our bedroom on our missing king-sized mattress? No, of course not. What are you talking about? Linda, hold on for a moment, I interjected. I pulled up a photo on my phone showing John Monroe having sex with Linda from behind while she was on all fours. She appeared ecstatic, and his intense expression indicated he was fully engaged in the act. This was one of several photos and videos I had captured with a hidden camera inside a clock in our bedroom, discovered a month ago when I first suspected her affair. I sent the photo to Linda and returned to the call. Linda, look at the photo I just sent. Are you telling me that isn't my wife being fucked in our master bedroom, on our mattress, with no condom, by her boss? I heard her drop the phone and cry out in anguish. Oh God, Jack. Please, it was a mistake, just once. It didn't mean anything. It was a fling, excitement from someone younger who desired me and made me feel youthful and desired again. I never meant to hurt you. I'm so sorry. But Jack, if... I cut her off, raising my voice over hers. Linda, look out the back window at the middle of the backyard. Do you see that pile of charred wood, metal, and ash? That's our damn king-sized mattress. It symbolizes how you've burned our marriage, betrayed our family, humiliated me. When did you start hating me enough to hurt me like this? When did you decide my love and our family's love didn't matter? When did you lose respect and honesty? When did you decide to throw us away like trash? Jack, please, please forgive me. I love you. I don't hate you. I could never hate you. I want us to be together. It was a mistake, just once, out of selfishness. It was never about you lacking anything. Please, Jack, come home and talk to me. Linda, the kids and I have had enough of the lies and deceit. Can you finally be honest with me? Is this why the kids won't answer my calls? Jack, did you tell them and turn them against me? How dare you, Linda? I didn't do anything to turn the kids against you. You managed that all on your own, with your lover. This is entirely on you, your selfishness, your self-centeredness, and your need for someone else. You've created this twilight zone and torn our family apart. It wasn't me who told the kids, it was them who told me. How pathetic is that? I never imagined you capable of lying, cheating, and discarding us so easily. Stop lying now. It wasn't just once. This has been going on for at least 4 months. You emotionally checked out, stopped talking to us, stopped looking at me, and barely showed any affection except for occasional pity sex. You disgust me. Jack, it didn't mean anything. It was just sex, a one-time mistake in our 23-year marriage. I want you, not John. Please believe me. Linda, hold on. I pulled up another photo on my phone, one Ryan had taken when he unexpectedly came home to pick up tools and heard you and Monroe in our bedroom. He quietly snapped several pictures and videos, too distraught to tell me for 2 weeks. Finally, Ryan and Krista decided I deserved to know, and we cried together, sickened by the betrayal they witnessed. That's when I bought the spy camera. I texted that photo to Linda. Linda, look at your phone. This was the first time any of us knew about you and your affair, despite you cutting emotional ties with me 3 months before this. I'm pretty sure you've been lovers for a long time. Linda, Ryan caught you with Monroe's cock in your mouth, looking like you'd just found heaven. How do you think your son feels seeing his mother betray us like that? Do you think that hasn't shattered his respect for you and Krista's too, as they agonized over whether to tell me about your infidelity? Do you think you have any credibility or respect left with them? Do you know how much it hurt them to reveal you as a cheating liar, destroying our marriage and family? Stop with the lies about it being a one-time thing, about it not going on for months, about you not sleeping with him 6 or 7 times on your last trip. I'll hang up if I hear one more lie. No, Jack, please let me explain. Linda's voice cracked with sobs, and I pictured her collapsed on the floor, finally grasping the devastation her lies and betrayal had wrought upon our family and herself. Oh, God, Jack, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I lost my mind. It's over now. It was just meaningless, reckless sex. Feeling wanted and sneaking around felt exciting, but there was no love. I never meant to hurt you, but I see now how deeply I've hurt you, the kids, and myself. I didn't realize how much I'd withdrawn from all of you. It's like I'm waking up from a nightmare, hating myself for what I've done because I love you, our family, and our life together. Please, Jack, come home so I can make this right. I need to bring us back together as a family. Linda, there is no us anymore. It's over. After everything you've done, the mental and emotional damage is irreparable. You've shown me that you don't respect me or care about anyone but yourself. Between your lies and deceit, I can never trust you again. Everything we had is tainted now. Did you cheat for years or just the last few months? How many others were there, Linda? Do I need to get DNA tests for the kids? I definitely need STD testing. There's nothing left between us. You've hurt me in ways I never imagined possible. The person I loved has thrown me away like trash. The kids might forgive you someday, but I never will. Jack, please don't say that. I'll do anything. I'll go to counseling. You can see other women. Please don't leave me. I've been living with guilt and wanted to stop. I would have always come back to you. It was just a meaningless mistake. Please forgive me. Linda, save your excuses. I don't believe a word you say. I don't care about your lies anymore. Here's what's going to happen. On Monday, you'll be served with divorce papers at the bank. Oh God, no, Jack, please don't divorce me. Please. Linda, listen. Your boss's wife has already seen the videos and pictures I have of your affair in our bedroom. Your relationship with John Monroe is likely over. You brought this on yourself. Jack, please tell me you didn't do that. He has a wife and kids. Why would you do this? Linda, you just don't get it. I'm not the one ruining lives here. You and John Monroe did that. Your affair didn't just ruin our lives, it's affecting his family too. Are you proud of yourself for destroying 8 lives? Your selfishness knows no bounds. With those cutting words, her sobs erupted, and I could hear her struggling to breathe through the phone. But I wasn't finished. Your boss will be served with a civil suit for alienation of affection, though they might have trouble finding him in the hospital. I heard Monroe was mugged at the airport, ending up with a crushed testicle and shattered knee. It might be a while before he's capable of giving you his magical cock again. Stop it, Jack. Stop being so cruel. I don't care about him, I just want you. Please don't do this to us. Linda, listen again. There is no us anymore. It's uncertain whether your boss or you will have jobs next week because I've also sent these pictures to the president and board members of U.S. Commerce Bank along with suits for alienation of affection and sexual harassment. If they settle, I'll try to ensure you keep your job, but I'll demand they fire him. No, Jack, no. Do you hate me this much? Linda, your actions showed your hatred for me through betrayal, lies, and disrespect. You tore my cherished love for you from my soul. I'm just trying to salvage some self-respect before we part ways. At this point, Linda was sobbing heavily, uttering cries of disbelief and denial. I wasn't sure if she could hear me anymore. My anger was waning, replaced by pain and remorse for what I was putting her through, knowing I still loved her despite the hate I felt. It was a tumultuous mix of emotions tearing at my soul. But above all, I was resolute in seeking revenge and dealing a severe blow for what she had done to me. Linda, we're almost finished. Focus on these next points. I've taken the $125,000 from our savings. $25,000 has prepaid Krista's college for the next 2 years. I'll continue supporting her in the future as best I can. I'm leaving you the house. I've signed the deed over to you. The equity is around $100,000 if you sell it now. I'm not selling our house, Jack. Please stop this madness and come home so we can heal. Please, for the sake of our 23 years together before everything went wrong. I ignored her plea and pressed on, Linda, if you sign the divorce papers, you keep the house and everything in it. I'll take the remaining $100,000 from our savings, and we're done. If you don't want to sign or fight it, I don't care. I won't be here to argue with you. Do what you want, it doesn't matter to me. We're almost finished, Linda. There are just a few more things I need to tell you. I've moved out of the house. I took what I wanted, and whatever's left is yours to do with as you choose. I've packed our family vacation photos. The wedding albums are yours to keep or discard. Keep them, burn them, I don't care. My wedding ring is on the dresser. You can keep it, melt it down, or flush it away like our marriage. Ryan will be coming over to pick up some of my fishing and hunting gear that he wants. He'd prefer to come when you're not around, so don't be alarmed if you notice someone's been in the house. He doesn't want to see you. Krista will also stop by to collect her belongings. She doesn't plan on living here again. She'll come when you're not home, so don't be surprised if her room is emptied out. Lastly, I've texted the pictures of you and your lover to your parents, my parents, and everyone in both our email lists. You might want to prepare what you'll tell them. I won't be painted as the villain in this failed marriage. Her cries and screams had reached a fever pitch, and I feared she might collapse or worse. This needed to end. Linda, one last thing. I resigned from my job last week, and I'm leaving the state for a fresh start. I hope to find someone who will love me, respect me as an equal, and whom I can trust and love in return. Perhaps you'll find what you've been searching for too. Don't look for me. If you need to reach me, send a message through Ryan or my lawyer. We're done, Linda. Goodbye. As I hung up, her desperate pleas echoed in my ears. Tears streamed down my face as I collapsed, overwhelmed by the pain and cruelty I'd unleashed. Forgiving myself would be a long journey, and forgiving her seemed impossible. The road ahead promised hardship, but I resolved not to succumb to bitterness. Remembering the beauty of the mountain morning, I knew there would still be moments of magic in my life if I stayed open to them, moving steadily toward a new beginning. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Write your opinion in the comments.